what time it is. Marvin Devine, Hoover, Axel, and you know how we do. Yeah, I got the juice. Whip game cool, make them look like cool. Always play cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing. I've been making loot since like 22. Ask me how I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued cause of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, wanna get in my crew, but you can't get in my crew. Me, Axel, and Hugo way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the troops. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof. You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go. Yeah.
Y'all ready for this? Yeah.
This is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in the kidney world. My girl, and say, this is.
Oh, what they put us in the hospital for? I'm not crazy. I'm not bipolar. Just because you want a kidney and I don't want a kidney, you want to stick with dialysis and I don't want to stick with dialysis. Who are you talking to? No, I'm talking to you. Listen, one conversation at a time. Listen, wait a minute. All right, you want a kidney transplant. You want to stay on dialysis. And you want to stick with your kidney disease and eat right and all of that kind of stuff. Well, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do. You know, unfortunately, we all three share the same body. And this is probably why they got us in the hospital. I need to call somebody. I was watching Urban Health, the Lala Baxter, the Ika Baxter, the Lisa Baxter show. Yes, I was watching that because this is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in the kidney world. Hello, everybody, and how you doing? Oh, wow. I have to say thank you for wishing me a happy birthday on January 15th. I turned 58 years old. I am very happy about that, and I am alive and kicking. You know what I'm trying to say? Yes. Mwah. Much love, V for victory and peace. We're going to get this thing started. That's right. You know, you see my balloons over there and some of my gifts down there. Isn't that sweet? So I got prayers, I got blessings, and some good well wishing, and some open doors. So thank God for that. I would like to introduce my guest. Woo, child, she's a hero. That's right. She's a donor hero because donors rule and donors are in the house, and so is authors. Let me introduce her. Her name is Brenda E Cortez. She's a children book author, right? She is a living kidney donor and a creator of How the Owl, she's an organ donor advocate. All right. So, and with a new website at that, come on, Brenda, and let's hear your journey and your story. Woo-hoo! Welcome. Hello, Brenda,
Hey.
and welcome.
Thank you, Lisa, for having me.
It's an honor. It's an honor. Oh, wow. I'm just so glad to have you, and I can't wait for them to hear your story. Just talking to you privately. So now they're going to get to hear it because I spoke to you privately, and now they're going to get it. Okay. So let me ask you first. What did you do before all of this has started? Before we got into the kidney world and what have you? What was you doing before? What was your job or your position, or what was you doing before this?
I was in sales and marketing. So I didn't really do anything with writing. I was busy being a mom too when I donated almost 16 years ago. My kids were in 2nd grade and 5th grade, so they were young.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you no illness or sickness while you was dealing with this while you were working, because some warriors work during kidney disease. I know I did during dialysis, the transplant, and kidney disease. And some people they retire or they stay at home or go on disability. So were you working on anything at the time before I ask you about your renal connection story?
Yeah, I was working. I was doing trying to think of what I was doing at the time. I know Market Day, if anyone remembers the Market Day fundraising program for kids, or not really for kids, it's for like schools and churches. That I was doing, and I know I was doing another part-time job. Oh, I think I was doing real estate. Yep, I was doing real estate at the time.
Wow. Was that hard for you or heavy on you? I went after work. I went to dialysis after work. So I worked in the day and I went in the evening to dialysis.
Oh, well, for me, because I was the donor, so it was different versus.
It was very different for you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have to do dialysis or anything, so it was
Well,
just.
that's even better.
Pardon?
I said that's even better. Being a donor on the other side and proving that you can live and you can work with one kidney when you donate it, because some people don't believe that about when you get a kidney, that you can live with the one that's working, even though you might still have the two inside. So start us with your kidney journey and your warriorship. Your warriorship. Please tell us your story, please.
Sure. So I had always been a registered donor on my driver's license. I didn't know anything about living kidney donation. And I was helping at my children's school to actually get the Market Day program going, which was this fundraiser that was going to be monthly. And it was, we were going to be unloading a bunch of boxes. And I had asked a bunch of parents to help. And this lady, Pam, was one of them that I asked. Our kids, she had a son in 2nd grade with my son, and her daughter was in 5th grade with my daughter. so we kind of knew each other, and she's told me that she could help with the first sale. It was the beginning of the school year, so it was September, but she said after that she couldn't anymore. She was going to be getting a fistula put in her arm and was going to be starting dialysis, and that she needed a kidney donor. And I just asked right then and there, well, what do you need to be a kidney donor? And she said, again, this is almost 16 years ago. So she's O positive blood type. So she said, I need somebody with O blood type. And there weren't any, kidney paired exchange programs or anything back then, which thankfully there are now. But I just said, I'm O negative. I have O blood type. What do I need to do? And I just felt in that moment that I was going to be a match for her. And fast forward a few months later, when I had completed all the testing, and found out that I definitely was a match for her. So then fast forward, so a total of 6 months from when we had that initial contact to when we had the surgery, when I donated my kidney to her then. So coming up March 23rd will be 16 years. Oh, no, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Lisa, I'm sorry.
16 years. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, something is...
16 years. Can you hear me?
I don't know if everyone else is having a problem, but...
16 years. Can you hear me?
It sounds robotic. It sounds like a robot.
Really? Wow. What about now? I hope not. We were going good so far.
Oh, okay.
Okay, is that any better?
No.
I'm going to put the things in or with it out. I pulled it out because what did you said?
It's still... Is anyone else having an issue hearing Lisa? If you comment, let me know. Okay, someone said that they hear me.
Oh, it's yours.
And you can hear both.
Put your earbuds in. Remember, I told you to have them on the side if you didn't have them on.
Okay, now I can hear what you said.
All right, but put your earbuds in. Put your earbuds in.
You want mine in? Okay.
Yeah, put them in. Those are the things I had to have you as an emergency.
Right.
That's remember I saw backup. So yep, I'm using mine if it's going to start being a problem with mine, then I'll put them back in because I am not sure.
Okay. Sorry for the issues. Yep. Oh, Jared says I need to log out and come back.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, so log out and come back, and I'll keep it going until then.
Well, now you got better. Oh, I froze. I'm frozen. Okay.
Go out and come back in, and don't worry, we'll get it going. Well, guys, thank you for staying with us and tuning in. I mean, she's a beautiful person, as you can see, and I'm just in love with the whole story altogether. So I thank you. So please comment in the bottom any questions you may have for me, any resources you might need, because I do put resources in the comments, and sometimes I will say numbers or websites to you. All right. So I would appreciate that as well. All right. And I don't know if I need mine's back in, but I never use mine, so I wanted to do that. And I have my other ones over there. My brand new ones for Christmas. That's the one that's cordless. But anyway, I hope you guys are going to have a good, nice, long weekend because no work tomorrow, right? And I'll be starting my new job in February 1st. Hello? Can you hear me?
No, I can. No. Better.
Oh, okay, Brenda, you sounding great. Now, my thing was that you had a donor's card and you used your donor's card. You didn't just only get it, but what made you get it? Because I thought it was beautiful that the lady was so open to you to say that she needed a kidney and everything. Some people are quiet or suffer in silence, all kind of stuff. And she put it out there, she was going to get a fistula. She explained stuff to you. So I ain't mad at her for that. I mean, that was beautiful. So what made you get a card? How did you start with this card thing?
I'm not sure what you mean by a card, though.
Your card, your donor's card. What made you get the donor's card?
Oh,
You was
like when
always a donor, you said.
that I was always a donor on my license. For me, when I was 16 and got my driver's license, and that was the option, I just thought, of course, why not? And why wouldn't I want to help other people, especially if I don't need them anymore? You know, it was a little different when you consider living donation. It's like, oop, okay, like I really got to think about this for a little bit, maybe, but so yeah, just for me, no brainer.
That's beautiful. I mean, you didn't have to think about it. You just did it. If anything happened to me, I'm a donor, but I was going to be a donor for my siblings, but the ones that ended up on dialysis. But we all had polycystic kidney disease, most of us, except my one brother who had, diabetes. So I couldn't be a live donor like you were. So I had to be this type of donor. So, but I love that fact that you wanted to do that. But you have done so many things to this was raising awareness right here. So I'm going to go into your authorship because you are an author. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Excellent. Now, tell us about being an author, your thing behind Howl the Owl and everything else. Come on, put it out there, sister. Put it out there.
All right. So, like I said, when I donated, my kids were younger. Second grade, my son and my daughter in fifth grade. And there weren't any resources at that time. Mm-hmm. And again, things have evolved. You know, the hospital, really there weren't any resources even for me as a living donor. It felt like they didn't have any like mentorship program or anything. So just kind of went at it and wasn't able to talk to anybody else. And nothing for my kids to help them. So I fast forward then, it was like 7 years. So my daughter was in fifth grade. Well, now she's a senior in high school, and she wrote about the kidney donation, and that was her essay to get into college. So she said in her essay that I inspired her to want to be a better person, but it was scary for her as a child, for her mom to have this surgery, do this, kidney donation willingly. And then also she wanted to do something then in the medical field. And so before I forget to say, she did just graduate last month with her master in social work, and she works at a hospital. She's not doing transplant, at least right now, but she is working at a hospital, and she's definitely helping others with love. So I'm very proud of her
that's
for
beautiful.
that.
That is excellent. Look at that. You raised a beautiful baby, a baby that became a woman that's a social worker. And, by you parading this before your children, I'm sure they have picked up and learned a lot. You know what I mean? For, you being a great parent as well. And, oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Thanks. So her essay then is what inspired me to look back, and think like, oh, yeah, there weren't any resources. I'm sure it was, very scary for them. And I thought, you know what, let me look and see if there's anything out there now. And there wasn't at the time. And so this was in like 2010, maybe, when I first wrote the first draft of this book. My mom is having surgery, a kidney story. And I told it from my daughter's perspective, and just go through and explain, what's a kidney transplant, and just some details of surgery and how long I might be in the hospital, and that once I get home, I would need, a little extra help. And, the kids were like, we're going to help mom, we're going to do this and that. So that's what I came up with. And I'm proud that some transplant centers are using the book. I donated at Freighter Hospital in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and they are using the book along with some of my other books as well. So I know that it's been a great tool. It's been talked about in a couple living donor groups, Facebook groups, because there might be, a couple other resources out there now, but still there's really not that many. People hadn't really thought much about kids and the effect on them. So once this book came out, then I was encouraged to write more when people had commented that, oh, that's a great book for children's hospitals. And then I said, not really, though. It's more for, the adult is in the hospital and the kid is dealing with that. And I said, I need one where the child is the one in the hospital. So I wanted to come up with a cute character. And first I came up with a saying, help others with love. That popped into my head. And I was like, you know what? That's an acronym, HOWL. That's about Howl, HOWL. And rhymes with owl. I like owls. I'm like, that's going to be my character in the next book that I'm going to write. So that's how he was created. That's how he came to life. So I actually created him then to be the plush version, so I would have something to send to the illustrator for the book. So plush owl, the owl. I know a lot of people love him. Adults definitely are in love with Howl, which is exciting. Just as many adults love Howl as kids do. So thank you to everybody who is a Howl supporter. Yes. So then I started the Howl series, and 8 books later in the Howl series, here we are. I'll try to be really quick with showing them. So within the Howl series then is the organ donation series. So some books are strictly talking about organ donation, where this one, he gets a heart transplant. And then this one, Bella's daddy passes away and she's an organ donor, or he is an organ donor rather. What does that mean? So it explains that. Book 3, Hal learns about kidneys and dialysis. And I know Steve was a great help, because before this one was published, I wanted his professional opinion. So he looked over and gave me some feedback on it. So I appreciated that. And this one, I was honoring my stepdad, my children's grandpa Bob. So that's Howell's grandpa Bob. And he's the one that, and this isn't necessarily true, but he was going through dialysis and Howell was curious about it. And so Howell got to go and see what it was all about one day. And then they're searching for a living kidney donor for him. And then it does end with him. Grandpa Bob does get his kidney then from a deceased donor. So wanted to try to tie in all relevant things with that one. And then at the request of Phoenix Children's Hospital, they wanted a liver version of the heart book. So it's very similar to Hal gets a heart, but here he gets a liver. And then I worked with one of the social workers at Fredert Hospital, and she reviewed the story before it was published. And I learned some things because I wasn't as familiar about liver. So I was grateful for that. And then my most recent book, but this one we include in the organ donation series, is about the transplant games. So Howell competes at the transplant games. So that one just came out this past summer. I actually had 2 books come out last year in 2020, but didn't have a chance to really do any big book signings, obviously, because of the pandemic. And so this was the other one that came out in 2020. So I teamed up with Edward Drake. He is a kidney recipient. He's the founder of the Why Not Foundation. And I met with him, heard his story, and he wanted to go play college football, but he ended up with kidney disease and having to do dialysis. So that dream was shattered, basically. But within all of that, he found his true purpose in life. And so his story, he wanted to inspire others with that story, that even though you might not be on the road you thought you were going to be on, but it just might be the path to your real purpose.
Wow.
Yeah. I
Beautiful.
also have teamed up with Joey Gase. He is a NASCAR driver. This is going to be coming up on his second year in the Cup. He was driving in the Xfinity series. So Joey's mom passed away when he was 18, and she became a donor, and she impacted a total of 66 lives. And ever since then, he has become an advocate, and he uses his racing platform. And let me bring up some of the pictures in the back. So he will put like the Donate Life on his hood, and then all the handprints. He does an event for people to come, and it's called Handprints of Hope. And a lot of times it would be, people related to organ donation. Otherwise, it could just be fans of Joey. But it's a pretty cool thing that he does. And it really raises awareness, because people are intrigued when they see, his car driving around the track with, so he'll put donors' pictures on it too, depending on where he's at and who's his sponsor, along with these handprints. It's really awesome. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then this one it briefly just touches on organ donation a little bit, but this one I wanted to focus more on Hull's message, what his name stood for, help others with love. And so different, almost kind of little short stories within it, addresses autism just a little bit. And there's a bully in there too, that he learns his lesson, and that it's not good to be a bully. So it's a fun one as well. So those are the 8 books so far, in a nutshell.
Beautiful. Wow. Beautiful.
Thanks.
Beautiful. Congratulations on them. 8 is the number of new beginnings. So, all right. I ain't mad at you. That's great. We have that in common with writing books and with, children and stuff like that, because, you have to put it out there for people to understand it, and for people to get a picture or an idea of this thing. Sometimes I remember somebody saying they didn't understand it till I explained it in a book, but or they saw me on dialysis. Sometimes you don't know what will get the person's attention. You know what I mean? But right. I'm sure with all of your beautiful books, you've gotten much attention, plenty of attention. I was just in love with how you did it, the way you did it, the different ideas, the creativity of it all. And you haven't missed a beat, really. You haven't missed a beat. You know what I mean? So, I understand why you would donate the books. I do the same thing to the hospitals and even to the youth prisons and stuff like that, where I volunteer. So you just don't know who you're going to impact, or what life you're going to change, or who you're going to bless. So I know how Al has been blessing. I like that transplant games thing. I was like, woohoo, what? He's competing in the events. He's competing in the events.
Sticker on and Donate Life. So Donate Life America, they get some partial proceeds from the book sales and the plush howl. So I just want to make sure that I don't forget to say that part of it.
Oh, beautiful. Well, put it on out there. Put it on out there. It's all good. It is wonderful. What would you say to somebody, or encourage somebody out there that's listening? Maybe they're an author. Maybe they want to be a donor. Maybe they're afraid to be a donor. But what would you actually say out there to them to encourage them?
Well, if somebody's considering donation, I know, find a Facebook group. There's a few different great support groups. So there's a great support system, and you can ask questions. But like me, And I think majority of the other living donors, that it's just an amazing feeling to be able to just do what you can to save somebody's life. Okay, yeah, it's a surgery. It's, it's painful and there's risks, but I think almost everybody says that it's worth it. It's so worth it. It's almost kind of like if you're having a child. Oh yeah, you get big and you're uncomfortable, and then you depending on how you deliver and the pain, but it's all worth it. It's all worth it in the end. So that's how I feel, and I know so many others feel that way. As far as if somebody's considering being an author and writing, for me, it's been fun. It's been a great way to share my thoughts and my message. And if you have any questions, reach out to me, definitely. If you want to email me at all, Brenda@howldowl.com. So I'm happy to talk to anybody.
Look at that. You're mentoring too. That's right. Mentoring the donors, mentoring the authors. You just are all around hero, a shero.
Aw, thank you.
Fantabulous. Shando, a billion blessings. Is there anything we forgot before I ask you to give you a shout out? Is there anything you want to say?
I do. Thank you for asking. I have a new book that I am collaborating with a lot of different people on. It's coming out, and we're looking at April 23rd for our release date. So it's not a children's book. It's an adult book. And so it's chapters. And it is because of organ donation. I don't know how well you can see it, if there's a glare or anything on here. I just created a Facebook page for it last night, so you could get a better look and like our page, follow along. So on Facebook, the page name is the title of the book, Because of Organ Donation. So this book features 25 different chapters, 25 different stories. So I'm one of the author chapters, and I recruited a variety of people then for all the other chapters. So they wrote their chapters. Some are shared chapters. So we've got some living donors, recipients, and a variety of organs. This isn't just about kidney. And then we have donor families as well. So we've got a few that are, well, I know some of the people on here are part of the book. Jean Syme, she's a kidney recipient, and her living donor is Pat Milford. And then we've got Maria Terry Palawa. I hope I'm saying your name right. She's a double lung recipient, and she's one of the authors. George Franklin, he's had his kidney for 45 years, so we've got his. We have our youngest author. She's in her young 20s, Haley, and she received her heart when she was a teenager on Valentine's Day. So that's awesome.
Wow.
We have a mom that shares the story of her baby passing and how he was able to help others. And then a mom shares the story of her baby receiving a heart transplant. Another mom is sharing the story of her baby. He received 3 liver transplants, but now I believe he's 5 years old now, and he's thriving. So some of these stories will, they might make you teary-eyed, but they're all inspiring stories.
I'm sure.
Yeah, how important organ donation is, or what people are doing now because of organ donation. So
wow. I was wondering how you had told us how you came with the name, because Melzy takes dialysis to show and tell. I got that from like a family member, a child. And through the eyes of a dialysis patient, you know, I really prayed and that came to me. But sometimes, did you have any problems with coming with the other titles of your book or issues or just came freely or you got an idea from a personal thing before I end the show? Because Nurse Belt, you got a show next.
Okay. No, most of them, they all came pretty easily to me when I had the
Oh,
idea. Yeah, so they all came pretty easily.
Grivet gets a kidney. Yeah, it can come easy after a while, you know, or you feel it in your heart. I really believe you feel it in your heart, you know. So, any shout outs, or you gave your shout out?
Well, I just want to shout out to all my Howl the Owl ambassadors.
Woo!
To all of our Howl's heroes. A lot of you might be familiar, but there's a Facebook page for that. Howl's Heroes. We're honoring everyday heroes doing wonderful things, variety of different things. My webpage has, for the last however many years, almost 5 years, I think, has been a part of Donate Life America's page. But I want to offer more things, and it was time for me to get my own website. So pretty soon mine will be up and running, howltheowl.com. There'll be a landing page for becauseoforgandonation.com and howlsheroes.com. But then you can get these shirts there.
I love the shirt.
And if you saw one in the background and sweatshirts, so super excited just to be able to offer all these different things and have the website. But I'm grateful that I've been a part of Donate Life America's website for all these years. And thank you for having me. Thank you to Steve and your whole crew for everything that you guys do.
Oh, well, you rock, okay? And thank you for being on the show. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Thank you. I even had some of your friends on the show, you know, Thelma and some of the rest. And Mike Nickloy is next week, and that's a publisher that you also know. So
he's the publisher I work with. And it just so happened we didn't know each other beforehand, and then we got connected, and it turns out he is a kidney recipient from a living donor. He's one of the people I interviewed for the Howl Learns About Kidneys and Dialysis book. So it was definitely God's hand at work there that he
Amen. Yeah. I know that's right. You ain't never lied. Well, thank you once again. Have an excellent night. Hug and kiss Howell for me because he's doing great work. I ain't mad at y'all both. Woo! You know, so good night and thank you so much. Many blessings. Good night. Appreciate you. Well, guys, you've heard it. Isn't that something? Wow, she is excellent. Fantabulous. Well, before I end the show, this is what I'm going to read to you. Send forth your light and your truth. Let them guide me. Psalms 43:3. Well, bless your life. Have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of your night. And I'll see you next week. Thank you. And peace be for victory. Much love. Your girl.
Y'all ready for this? Yeah.
My girl, and say, this is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in the kidney world. My girl, and say, this is